children with no voice in borrowed rooms, to the magazines that carry their truth. 25 years of the same steady hand, finding the ones who fell through the cracks of the plan. From Mitcham to Croydon, from London to the world, every flag he planted said, you matter, you're hurt, but there's a man who finds you in the quiet.
You matter, Michelle, you matter. Yay.
Everybody matters.
Yeah, especially in his world. The rest of the world might think you don't matter, but I know you do. That's why we're here, Michelle. That's why we're here again. And I say, welcome, my friends. Welcome to the early birds. And as always, drop us a comment so we know you're here, and we can welcome you properly, right? We'd love to hear your thoughts on our topic. This is Michelle's room, really. She thinks it's my room. No. I wonder if Michelle wasn't here, I would not be here talking about these things, right? But no. I see Michelle, and Michelle has a point. So let's talk about it. Michelle, you're the star of the show. How are you?
I am humble and grateful.
Can I have that in writing?
Yeah, I'll definitely put that in. Oh, absolutely. Like that's God's favor right there. Oh,
I tell you,
absolutely.
when you're shouting and screaming, you sound like an angel. So all of a sudden, I don't know by your email the other day to whoever I know who. I think Michelle's an angel. Yeah, they just
And
don't
you were
know.
you were so proud of me too. I was proud of me.
But you regretted it straight away afterwards.
No, I didn't regret it. I just was. There's no regret. I don't do anything and regret anything. I think
What
it
do you
was
want
more like discernment. Like, damn, why didn't I go with my intuition?
to? Well, you went with your intuition. That's a problem, right? You actually went with your intuition.
I might be, maybe that might be a way to look at it.
This is so weird. I don't know why. See, it might. I don't know. Do I blame Restream or who do I blame for this? I blame someone for this, Michelle.
There's going to definitely be glitches again this week, I'm sure.
Yeah, when I set the event up, it said it's going live at 9:00, so I had to change that to 10:00, right? So I don't know why
my time was messed up as well.
Now it's at 11:00, which is really annoying. which is just nuts.
I think that when there's a situation and circumstances through what I go through, the digital electronic interference is to be expected, and I think that most societal people think it's just a glitch, but there's much more deep rooted data to the glitches.
What do you think it is, Michelle?
Well, I have a great opening statement that I could read that might give some insight.
I don't understand why this has happened. Really not.
I don't understand either because you've done hundreds of events.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at my LinkedIn says 10 p.m. we're meant to start, right? And it's 10 p.m. now. So why does my LinkedIn page say 11 p.m., which is really odd?
And mine was saying 6 p.m.
Which is so odd. Your 6 p.m. will tie with 11:00, which doesn't make sense. Oh wow. No, we're live. I don't know. Do we just drift for an hour, or do we
just do our thing?
Do we go for it?
I don't know. I'm here. I'm in the middle. I took the break today of packing to move to do the show, so it's just my little break time right now.
Okay, so I don't think we're live on LinkedIn. That's my problem.
I would think that we're probably not because it's glitching.
Annoyance.
LinkedIn is a pretty influential platform.
It is, because that's where my friends are.
Mm-hmm.
Do we give them an hour? Do we no? Do we wait till 11
I
o'clock?
think that you could go onto LinkedIn real quick on a different, browser and delete that event and just launch a live one this moment.
But then all the ones who RSVP'd would not be able to
All you
get.
have to do is just put a comment with the link. Resend.
Why?
There's
Why?
always a way around the glitch. Technical interferences can only happen so much, and they can only keep up in real time so long when it's taking place. So, deleting the event and then launching a new one in real time should bypass whatever it is causing the LinkedIn event currently scheduled to not launch.
You know what? This is also weird.
It's
It
really
says
just
stream.
computer programming and coding, and I'm sure in your privacy coding reports, there's going to be a signature saying what happened.
No, but it says streaming to LinkedIn as we speak. It says
Correct.
your event is streaming now.
Correct. But it's really not.
No, which is just so weird, right? So weird. Right.
It's called human error, but not your human error.
Michelle, I'm speechless. Let me see whether we're live on YouTube. I get a feeling we are. Let's get rid of that. And I say I wouldn't want your important message wasted.
Right.
Yeah, we're streaming live so we're streaming live on
So
YouTube and on Facebook.
so just take your restream link and create a new LinkedIn event, and then I can go on and reshare it.
How do I cancel the one on
Don't even
LinkedIn?
cancel it. Just let it sit there. It's a dud link anyways.
So if I do it's a plus add the channel, but it can only have one LinkedIn. That's a problem.
I know. So no, you take your restream link, make a
Yeah.
LinkedIn event, and put it in the LinkedIn event, not restream, LinkedIn.
Guys, say that again.
You take the
Okay.
restream link
So
and you
so
put it
I
in
press
a new LinkedIn event, not a new restream link.
so I go to so I'm on LinkedIn now. I create a new event.
And then put the link for restream that's already streaming this moment.
But it's not streaming but it says it's streaming to
It's
LinkedIn,
okay.
but
Trust it'll work.
okay. So I'm on LinkedIn. Go to my profile, start a new post, create a new event, blah blah blah. Now so I have to go home and then create a new event, and then let's see what happens.
And then you should be
Post.
streaming live on LinkedIn.
Right. Okay. Uh, so create an event. So do I go through the whole process, upload the cover image and all that?
Just like you would, just like you already did.
Okay.
Just like what already exists. At least this time you could just copy and paste.
So event name, we know what that is. Speaking of live, to manage your mental health, as you say.
Anybody that's tuning in, just so you know, Annie is fixing some digital interference on another platform streaming this event. So we just need a few minutes to get everything situated.
You just relax, Michelle. Just relax.
Oh, I am so copacetic today.
Right. So when it says time zone, what do I say? How do I tell it it's starting now?
You don't even need to. Just start it.
Yeah,
You're the godfather of LinkedIn. It's
but you
going
have
to
to put a start date and
automatically give.
we have to put a start date and time.
Like, just put it at time right now. This time, this moment.
Well, I know LinkedIn probably won't let you do that. Yeah, so 10.
Just like remember when we would set up those audio rooms? You're doing it exactly like that. When those would start glitching and we would set up like a new audio room, like you're doing the exact same thing.
But you have to create one that starts after the event, right? So what's this word? I'm so confused why this has happened.
I'm not confused why this is happening. I understand exactly why this is happening.
Why do you think it's happening, Michelle?
Because of
Is
what
it
I'm
is
being
it a
subjected
gremlin?
to.
Is it
Because of
gremlins?
what
Is
I'm
it?
being. Well, you tell me, because I don't believe in coincidences, and you can do hundreds of fucking shows a year, and then we do this show and it's happening. No, I don't believe in coincidence.
Right. So I've set time for 10:20, and still it's not saying next. Why is it not saying next, Michelle?
You might have to refresh your page. You might be getting some digital interference all the way there in London.
So LinkedIn Live. But how do I link this to my StreamYard?
You don't need to link it to your StreamYard because you already have a live StreamYard going. You just need a LinkedIn event streaming your restream event.
So do I put external link?
You don't need to worry about this live right now streaming LinkedIn link. You need LinkedIn streaming this live.
So do I put external event?
You just put it you just launch it as an event happening right like with this link.
Okay. So external event, and then so where's the event link?
It's like the one that you sent me with the copy and paste. Well, I don't know if that's the link. Like the website link, like that you would share for somebody to watch.
It's not happening, Michelle.
It's not letting you see. I'm sure it's not giving it to you, even though it gives it to you for every other event. I mean, real talk, we're streaming on YouTube. So I would just copy and paste your YouTube link and make a LinkedIn post tagging me and Don't Raise Statistics saying that we are live, but there's, technical interference. That's the easiest way.
I've done everything. So right. Normally, when you say it's an external event link, then they say what's the link? Okay, there's the link. All right. So let's put the StreamYard link in there. Let's put it up there. No, it's still not letting me do. Okay.
Here, let me help you out.
You can stream to your LinkedIn as well, can't you?
Correct.
It doesn't help for the people, for the 500 people, the 37 people who RSVP'd.
I'm working on that right now. Oh no. Oh.
Okay, so I've said, I've created a page with external link, as you said. Is it working, Michelle? That's the question.
We're
Is it
getting there. Hold on
working?
1 second.
No, it says page doesn't exist. If you create it on your page, then I can always share the link because it won't take me that long to invite the people I want to invite. Really, really annoying.
All right. Look in your LinkedIn DMs.
I'm looking. So Michelle sent a post. So are we live on your LinkedIn now?
There you go. Live on LinkedIn. You bypass anything. I've had to, dude, I'm telling you, I've had to learn how to fucking navigate technical interference for the last 3 years.
Okay, so I've turned the volume down. Okay, so we can see chat. Okay, all right. Okay, I don't know. So mine's gonna kick in at 11 o'clock, which is gonna be crazy, but that's fine. Okay, we're here at least, right?
We're here.
So now I need to send DMs to people. Now,
Really, that link I just sent you in your LinkedIn DM, you just need to like
hmm,
forward that to people.
yeah. So okay, so I sent a good few DMs out already as well, which is really frustration. See, yeah, but your LinkedIn just links to YouTube.
I just shared, yeah, I just gave them a link to the live feed because your LinkedIn is gonna be, you're gonna have issues permanent
Mm,
with that.
yeah, which there shouldn't be.
No, there really shouldn't be.
They're trying to get me to enter the studio and for my own show that we've already started, which is really odd. So now I've joined my own show. Yay! Like, hmm, very, very odd. Hey, look, there's two of me.
I'm
Yeah.
like, somebody needs muted to fix that echo.
This,
That is so weird.
you don't say. You don't say. You don't say, Michelle.
Like you can't make this shit up. These are
You really
glitches are
can't.
happening live.
You really, really can't. Why am I still going? Okay.
This is great. I love it. This is so great.
Okay. Here we are. All right. Okay. I just gotta do what I do. I just want to do what I gotta do. Uh, what's this? What's the YouTube? Hmm. hmm,
Look at this. 20 minutes into it, still trying to fix
On
technical
the
glitches.
day that I came early, Michelle,
I know that's what I'm saying. You were early. You were about to launch first time on time, and we're still 20 minutes in fixing glitches.
which is just remarkable. Remarkable. Okay. I'm just gonna say right. Join us on
Hmm.
my YouTube. That's it.
So if you guys are here on YouTube, at least please drop some comments since you can't watch on LinkedIn. So and he tells me who's commenting and things, but yeah,
No, there's people thinking it starts at 11 o'clock, which is so weird.
the glitches are real.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to do speedy DM. Right. Thank God. Thank goodness I didn't send a speaker link out. Why not? an echo. So StreamYard, I'm doing okay. I got two. Get, get rid of that one. I don't need two. Okay. Now I'm back to some sort of craziness. We're not live on LinkedIn. No.
We're not going to be live on LinkedIn. That's why I shared that YouTube link. It's not going to, I'm telling you.
This is rather weird.
LinkedIn is a very powerful platform.
Why?
Because of the people on it, the influence that they hold.
You know, if they join on YouTube, I'm not gonna cry. It's just, you know, I don't like to leave my LinkedIn friends behind.
LinkedIn is basically just Facebook for professionals. So Facebook, you have like just your everyday people and everyday things happening. LinkedIn is to just the visual, it's a smoke screen. Like that's what it looks like.
It's a
But the
smoke
truth
screen.
is, when you go into the metrics and you look at who's looking at you and what they're looking at, LinkedIn is a very powerful platform. That's why it is my favorite platform.
It's a powerful platform for what it is, and that you know who's who. It's only
Exactly.
with real people.
Right.
Where you know who they are, you know where they live, you know where they work, you know what job they are. You with me? It's real people. But I'm so baffled by how this has happened. This has never happened before. But Michelle's going to say, yeah, when is Michelle show? You know, they
If it's the Michelle Ramos show, you should expect it.
the gaslighters would do what gaslighters do, is what Michelle would say.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I believe a word of it, but still.
Right.
Let me change that. We're live on this new. Okay. Right. Edit. Come on now. Because I didn't do anything. Everything's slower. You know, but I still think that the old one's going to go live at 11 o'clock.
That's fine. Let it. It's okay.
Yeah. I agree. And this. Oh my. I should go and get me a cup of tea, Michelle. You don't agree?
No. Yeah. I got my coffee right here.
See, you're sensible. I try to be on time. So no time for any of that stuff. Yeah, I was here. I'm here. Why is the YouTube channel not suddenly coming on? It has to come on, otherwise it looks a bit weird.
So in the United States, there's a lot of things called, amendments that give us rights.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things happening right now is an attempt at a violation of the First Amendment, freedom of speech, with what is known as petition chill.
Petition what?
Petition chill is where a voice speaking a lot of truth, they try to silence it because of the damage that can be caused.
Yes. Yeah.
And it happens with IoT technology and mesh grids, which is also a Fourth Amendment violation because of the illegal search and seizure that is required to obtain said data.
We can talk about that for the next room. How's that?
Sounds great.
You can explain to them where they find all this tracking mesh things, right?
Right. With videos and photos to prove it. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I won't say nothing I can't prove.
Okay. Once we see people in the audience, then we should go back to our plan that we had already. I do apologize, my friends, but I'm not, I'm sorry, but not sorry. What can I do?
Right.
All I can do is send the DMs, but thankfully I can do that quickly. Why would you want to do that? Just do what I'm asking you to do, please. No need to be doing anything funny. Just do what I asked you to do. Okay. Who's that? I don't know who you are, Tom. From Gracie of Philadelphia. I have no idea who that is. Where are we? I can't see. So Curtis, Jane. 4 people. They're going to LinkedIn page and seeing it starts at 11 o'clock. That's just so weird.
I just think it's funny you sit here and keep trying to fix it, and then you're not going to be able to.
No, I'm not trying to fix it now. I'm trying to send the DM to those who are RSVP'd. Except now, when I'm clicking on some names, nothing's happening.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why you're like on the LinkedIn, like your platform's going to glitch the whole time we're streaming.
No, I'm sending them to my YouTube. I have to send DMs to all of them, right? And nothing is working quickly. I just clicked on Jay's name, for example. I'm still waiting for the box to come up so I can enter the message. Eventually, the box art comes out. So, can you see the comments from there?
I can't see nothing.
Oh, I can see comments. Nikki's here. How you doing, Nikki? Nikki, you see Nikki's message on screen, right?
Nope. Oh, wait, I see. Yeah, I can see.
Right. Nikki, it was meant to be 5 p.m. It was not meant to be. It was set for 5 p.m. EST, which is 10 p.m. my time. And then I even corrected it yesterday because it looked like 9 p.m. And then when I've gone to start, YouTube has started on time, Facebook has started on time, then LinkedIn now thinks it's 11 p.m. It's 5 p.m. CST, which is just weird. How can that be? I have no idea. We do have a show for you. Welcome. It's fine. Oh, that's Michelle. She's really okay. She says, "So sorry to hear what happened to your daughter. If you start a petition or something, I'll gladly sign it and circulate." Have you done a post about your custody thing today?
I haven't posted about it, but we will be discussing it.
So did you just mention it? No, you haven't mentioned it today. So how does Nikki know about it?
I mean, we've talked about the custody stuff before. I'm sure she's probably just, asking like where we're at, how we're doing.
Okay, I mean, there's an update today. That's the point, I suppose. But we'll get to it when we do, right? I'm going back to sending my invites, but at least Nikki's here, so it means the process is working, Michelle.
I appreciate it.
The others will join when they get the right link. I have no doubt.
Right.
Some people are in bed, and there's two RSVP. Why? Don't do it, my friends. Don't do it. Yeah. All right. Janice. 3, 2, 1, Michelle. 3, 2, 1. I had this all planned. We start on time, finish on time. In about half an hour, I'll be cooking my dinner. And then life will be great. Life is still great.
You get to experience
the
Michelle reality.
Yeah.
Nothing goes as planned.
Or you can look at it another way. You have to ask what's the other way, Michelle. I'm not going to tell you otherwise.
I was waiting for you to tell
I
me.
know you were waiting. That's what I'm saying to you. You know, you have to ask the guy
What's the other way?
the other way is God's way.
Well, that's the only way.
Right. So the glitch. So is God part of the conspiracy?
Absolute. It's his plan.
To close it.
Everything is God's plan.
So it's God's thing that caused the glitch, right?
Right. Everything is God's plan.
Okay. Well, no, it's meant to be. No, I think I think you're all meant to go to my YouTube and like today's video, and of course subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm sure Nikki has.
Subscribe to the channel. Share the link.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, just engage with my channel, please.
There's some
Share
great
it.
videos on there. I've watched almost all of them.
There's hundreds, Michelle. There's
I
hundreds.
know. I know.
Hundreds of videos. Which
That's why it's so surreal that our streams are interfered with.
Yeah, well, YouTube's not interfering. YouTube's playing ball, right? YouTube's playing ball. Facebook is playing ball. Just LinkedIn that decides I'm not going to play ball today. But it'll play ball in about 24 minutes because they'll have no choice, which is rather weird. Anyway, no. My good friends are RSVP, but they're getting the message now, so that's cool.
Right.
That's cool. So I'm just inviting Karen. I'm sure Joan will be there somewhere as well. Who did you invite, Michelle?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. No, you got no. You got no. You're not a connecting person in that way.
Nope.
Nah, it's fine. Sorry, I forgot for a second. There's no point you sending DMs to your real good friends.
Right.
Have you invited Cherry? Have you invited Cherry?
Something to me got a DM. They know it.
Have you invited Cherry?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let me see what that is. No, I haven't done enough. Any mention of mental health tends to bring some people out.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? Just do what I ask you to do. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less.
That'll be wishful hoping for the next hour.
No, it's not an hour now. It's 20 minutes. So even on a bad day, 20 minutes, then LinkedIn kicks in. But by then, I'm sure I would have invited everyone on the DMs, so anyone who RSVP'd. Because I rather went to my links to my YouTube and done the right thing there, engaged. That way, I can be a step closer to monetizing. I mean, you got a YouTube channel.
Do I have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
I did.
You did? What happened to it, Michelle?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Do you,
had a
do you still have
Facebook.
it?
I had Facebook. I had TikTok. I had email. I had YouTube. And one day after I reported mass corruption, I lost access to every digital account.
Oh, that's just Michelle's
There's
life. That
lots of
is.
screenshots that says the email addresses that you have hundreds of emails from personally. I have screenshots that say that it doesn't exist.
Okay, so that's Michelle. That's Paulette. Yay!
I
You can
sent
still.
her the post that said that we couldn't stream. Oh,
Okay,
X is down. Oh shit.
no, so no, she couldn't get in, but you're here now, so that's cool. We're whiling away time to start at 11 o'clock because that's when LinkedIn kicks in.
Apparently.
Yes, which is just an odd thing to happen, but you know.
It's almost like maybe the platform thought that if it decided to not stream until an hour later, that the show would just not happen. But patience is God's most amazing gift.
Yeah, I have
And
no idea why the platform would think like that. See, now I've got 2 LinkedIn events.
the glitch is real. I don't know what to say besides
Yeah,
that.
no, it's cool. It's cool. You know, Michelle, we always win, right? We always win. So this one we're gonna win as well. No
True
reason why.
story.
So there's many tried to get in on LinkedIn, but they didn't. So listen, if you are here, if you Michelle Paulette, please like today's video. Just hit the like. You know, of course, comment will be really helpful. You know, and come back and watch more videos, right?
While you're doing these technical adjustments on your end, I'm going to run to the restroom since we're delayed and reset up and get some more coffee.
Okay, Shelley, are you that young? Entrepreneurial impact. There are people who entered the competition to win Entrepreneurial Impact 2026. So Shelley, you know, she's in it. I think Ariel's child, son Jacob. You know, he's an author. He's written his book, and he's writing. I say probably. I think it's on book number 3. And Jacob's. I think that's my look. Jacob was at number 1. I got another friend who is in it as well. So I'm just clicking on Ariel's name, expecting her to suddenly turn up for the page just to open, right? But no, Ariel, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. So refresh. In the end, we win. So why do I refresh and it goes backwards a page? That's really annoying. Okay, so now Ariel has a YouTube link. I'm sure Mike's got the YouTube link as well, but we should try it again. Yeah, each minute we get nearer to when LinkedIn will kick in. Okay, so Mike's already got a message. Let's not send it twice. Let's leave that alone. Okay, so I've invited everyone who booked. Oh, Dr. CJ booked. I'm surprised. It'd be good to have Dr. CJ back on LinkedIn. I think she's at Clubhouse these days. Yeah. Meryl also now RSVP'd. Now we'll try again. Right, let's see. They want to work first time. But it's now worked. We need to begin. Omar, Kurt, Patricia.
Your life is hard.
What are we going to tell them today anyway, Michelle? What's our plan? Do we have a plan?
You hear me?
Just about. You know, you sound broken, you know, cracking up, right?
That's because I'm glad I'm about to sign off and sign back in.
You sound like a frog. Try again. Go on, try again. You sound a bit like you're stuck in the bushes. See, I won't let Michelle win and say the conspirators won. So Kurt, you can have an invite. You can have the link. There you go, Kurt. And Mr. Omar, you can have the link to. My LinkedIn is especially slow today, but I don't know how that can be. I swear this is all down to the clocks going forwards and backwards. Somehow or another. Oh, well. You're sharing the Restream link. Well, I don't know why you're sharing it with me, Michelle. I suppose it would make it a bit easier to copy and paste it into the comments section. Ooh. Michelle fell off. Where did Michelle fall off to? Right. Michelle, you fell off.
How's that?
You fell off. No, stop sitting so close to the edge of the stage, please. When you do that, you tend to have a risk of falling off.
How is that one?
What do you mean? It was
better?
Yeah, it was fine before.
It's a whole new device. I had to get a whole new device. I couldn't even get back on the device I was just streaming on.
Really?
Here's the device I was just streaming on.
The slow speed of LinkedIn today. I'm sure it's me.
I told you I've had to learn how to maneuver through the glitches. Like, I know to keep multiple fully charged devices available for streaming. Like, it's ridiculous.
You see, like, you blame on the conspirators. I
don't blame conspirators because I don't believe in conspiracies.
You blame the evildoers.
I don't know who to blame. I can't answer that question.
Okay, that's fair enough. And I think it's more to do with the clocks going forwards and backwards. Because StreamYard has the right time, YouTube has the right time, Facebook has the right time.
I think it's because LinkedIn is a much more powerful platform than people know.
Well, LinkedIn had the right time until LinkedIn had to change 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. How would that happen?
I have my theories, but we'll discuss those another day.
Which other one screwed up? Our masterclass screwed up.
I bet it did. You definitely advertised it during our event.
Yes, no, it starts at 9. I said it starts at 9 o'clock, and then when I looked between Zoom and LinkedIn page said 9 o'clock. Zoom said 8 o'clock. So.
All right. Since I had to switch devices, one moment I gotta grab this charger because batteries seem to die very rapidly quick.
You don't want that to happen,
right?
So now the slow speed, the very slow speed. I'll close that. Normally, the way I get through the speed issues by refreshing my page, and then that way it resets itself rather than and sheds the data as you used to know to open a page. I'm not even opening pages. I'm just opening names and message tabs. But no, things just go very slowly. Okay. How very weird to be here a whole hour early, which is just the weirdest. This is why Annie likes being late. Oh. Anyway. Yes. Who is WhatsApping me? Someone's WhatsApping me. That's so weird.
I don't know who's watching or commenting. I just want to say hello, and I am so thankful and grateful for everybody tuning in.
Yeah. We are getting there.
I know. I got the patience. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly that, Michelle. Exactly that. So this person's DM does not want to work. Why would that suddenly not work? Don't encourage Michelle, please. All right, so there's Gary and Sonny. Okay, you click on them and then nothing happens because my page is refreshing apparently. Why it's taking so long to refresh? It's a mystery. It's a total mystery. 10. Okay. Yeah, we're almost there, Michelle.
I know. I'm patient.
Yeah.
I expect the glitches, so it's usually other people that get frustrated.
I don't think it's ever taken me this long to send 40 DMs before. Yeah, we wait and see. Yeah, what else can go wrong, Michelle?
Nothing.
There you go. So, I got no chocolate bars. I got nuts over there. I got biscuits. I got a good selection of biscuits. Sorry, I just spend my days worrying about my cookies.
And your tea.
No, yeah, well, cookies and tea. My tea is not as, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as, doesn't work as well as it used to because I have a closed cup. That one, right?
Yeah.
So I can't dip my tea in there. I could take the lid off, of course I could, but that defeats the point. The point of that cup is that my tea stays hotter for longer. Yeah, so yeah, that's normally. So I've learned to make 2 cups of tea these days each time. One with an open cup and one with that. I do drink them both one after the other as well, which I'm sure is not good for me. But
right, that would be a very interesting, thing.
It's what I do. You know, say I love my tea. Yeah, I might do some cookies and some nuts later on. All right, Romy, thank you very much. You're done. Carrie, you're done. So now on to the last 10 of my RSVPs to welcome. But the page is taking forever to load again. So it's really helpful. Not who's here. Mr. Omar, good to see you, Mr. Omar. Michelle, where have you gone?
What do you mean, where'd I go?
You're still there. Mr. Omar's there. So welcome, Mr. Omar. We did his.
Yes, Omar. I miss. Oh my God, I love his little. I don't like. It's like his show he does. I don't know what to call it because it's his own parody. It's his own thing. It's dope.
Which one?
Where he interviews the people and you try to figure out what they're gonna say and stuff.
Okay, well, so get to know this person. Do you really know this person? Do you really know?
It's not, I don't remember the name. I haven't been online in so long, but yeah, Omar's show is so fun to watch.
Have you been on there yet?
I've been invited to be on it. I haven't told him no. I just need a little time.
I haven't told him no. I didn't say yes either. That's what you're saying.
Definitely committed to being on his show.
So where haven't you been then?
Well, I mean, I was put in a digital timeout for 8 months. Hello. I call it digi jail. People get put in Facebook jail for commenting something, I report mass corruption and raw sewage poisoning and get thrown into digital jail.
Right. I was on this show last week. So I think
On
we
his,
filmed it on Sunday. We filmed it on Sunday. It's April Fool's show.
I can't wait to watch it.
If you haven't seen it, then you have to go
I
find
have
it and
not.
then.
I can't wait to go see it. I gotta do I do so much catching up, where I have to go read I guess other people are doing events and podcasts and stuff, and I support them and everything, but I'm just now getting to hear things that were happening 8 months ago.
Yeah, you're very up to date, Michelle.
I'm getting there.
I'm not sure that's how I describe it in reality.
This is my reality.
He says it was funny. It was me and Marsha.
Okay.
We were his guinea pigs. We were his. I don't know what you call us. His stooges. I'm sure.
No.
Even though the butt of his jokes. No.
It was a roast fest, huh?
Who were the funny ones? Yeah. And I won't tell them, Omar. You have to go to Omar's YouTube and then go and watch it. Otherwise,
yeah, make sure you share that link in the comments so I can definitely find it quicker.
Omar, that's to you, my friend. Share the links. I'm sending the link to Sherry as well. I don't know why I call her Sherry when that is Cherry.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah. And look, I guess I do enjoy sending my YouTube channel out.
I guess I want to say for everybody that's been sitting this hour out with us that I am so grateful and appreciative of your support. Once I read my opening statement, I'm sure people will understand why there has been so much interference today.
It's there's the thing about these shows. I always say people will happily sit there and just watch you ramble on for they just watch you ramble on, right? I think it's like being on a fly on a wall in someone's room.
A fly on the wall is a listen.
I don't like flies.
I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah, I don't like flies myself. I tend to want to kill just flies on the wall.
Flies, and I pray to God for forgiveness every time I kill one.
You see, but a fly on the wall doesn't mind watching two people sit and talking.
No, a fly loves to sit on a wall and listen to people talk.
They just do, right? They'll sit there.
About a fly on a wall listening to them talk.
She would say moth, or she would say some other flying creature. They equally happy. Watching. I'm sure they are. Watching nothing. Right. So I've sent all my DMs. Okay. How long do we have? 2 minutes. Right. I don't know what.
How many? Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah, I don't know what that just went backwards. I have no idea at all. And the pages do funny things. I don't want to go backwards.
Are we about to place bets that the link is it going to work or is it not going to work at the scheduled launch?
I have absolutely no idea, Michelle. No more than you do. At all.
I'm really sitting here thinking, I wonder, is it going to launch or is it not?
But I've sent my YouTube link to everyone who RSVP. But it's not. It won't be hard to find out whether we're going live on LinkedIn or not.
Yeah, we're gonna know in 5 minutes.
Not 5 minutes. We're gonna know in 1 minute, really. Well, what's your clock say? 5 minutes soon?
I think that LinkedIn is just going to keep experiencing technical difficulties.
Why?
Because it is a powerful platform.
When you say that, now I know you have an ulterior meaning for powerful. What do you mean powerful?
You just said that was next week's conversation.
Did I? Right.
Oh, shit.
So LinkedIn. I'm gonna go and see whether we're going live on LinkedIn as we speak.
Are you optimistic?
I'm pretty neutral. Let's see what they're going. No, we've gone
You
live
said
on
I'm neutral.
I am. I'm pretty. If we are, then I'll be like, yeah, well, yeah. If we haven't, I'll be like, no, we haven't. But I first need to go to my YouTube.
I
And
mean,
then
YouTube's been live this whole time.
it means we wasted our time waiting. Really, yeah. YouTube's been live all the time, so that's fine. Right.
And I do love it though, because like even with the YouTube and even when we're delayed and stuff, I think I really love the fact like how raw and like just real we are in our conversations. So it actually gives us really, really good audio when we go back to make the podcast.
Yeah, well, that's it. Those who don't know us don't know that. Well, no, an
A lot
hour
of people
before.
don't understand how much work really goes in behind scenes of things.
No, we're friends. So we're natural. We chat away anyway.
They don't
Right?
hear our 4-hour conversations that take place at 2 a.m.
No. Right. It still says
Well,
the
some
event.
people hear them, I'm sure, but for the most
It
part.
says LinkedIn says the event will start soon. Wait for the host to start.
But
Even
the
though
host
we know
started
that
already.
exactly, even though we know that we started
But the
already.
host has already started it and been streaming for an hour. So I'm telling
Yes.
you, the glitch. It's the glitch.
Why is the glitch still there?
Because of my opening statement.
Okay, well, we've done all we could. Say it still says starting soon. It
Well,
has got
it's
to the
6
hour.
o'clock now, so why don't you close it out and refresh and see if it launched? Because it's 6 o'clock exactly.
I'm refreshing and refreshing, Michelle. You're saying that they're still waiting for the host to start the show. Okay, so viewers member. Let's see whether this second tab works. First tab we can close. Second tab, click to join. Is it gonna work? No, it's gonna pass the hour. No, the second tab hasn't worked either, Michelle. Let's try third tab. How's that work?
Human digital interference happened.
You think so?
I absolutely do.
This is just so weird, but it's fine. It's fine, Michelle. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing ever does, right? So I've closed all the tabs now. So I'm gonna go now. Go back to start a new tab. And then we're gonna get going, Michelle.
Sounds like a plan.
Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Are you ready for with your what you're gonna read out, Michelle?
Oh yeah, I definitely have my opening statement ready. Let me pull it up here.
Okay. No, it can't be on there because. Right, okay, so this first one says event ended. Okay, so that's fine. Now, the second one, the proper one. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I have actually no idea what the hell you're going to say, Michelle.
I kind of like when I get to shock you.
It's fine. I'm easily shocked, as you well know. Right. So both events on LinkedIn have been mysteriously not going to happen.
Okay.
Mysteriously ended. So that obviously was a terminal glitch. Even though LinkedIn says they're both happening now, which is a bit weird.
Make sure you screenshot that.
Hmm?
Make sure you grab a screenshot of that for me, please.
This one says 11 o'clock it starts. So I'm going to it. And then it says click to join. It says pre-live, which is just weird. What kind of screenshots apart from the fact that it says we're waiting for the host to join, Michelle?
That's it. That's all you need. I mean, real talk, we got a whole live video of it happening. So honestly, I don't even need a screen grab.
Exactly. No idea at all. Okay, right. I have no idea how long your reading's going to take either.
Just a minute. It's literally it's not a long opening statement.
Okay. All right, let's go for it, Michelle.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody that's tuning in and listening. I want to say that I'm going to read an opening statement that is what it is, and I'm not apologetic. I regret nothing. And the only thing that I can ask for is to like this, to comment, to share your stories, and to share this video everywhere and anywhere to keep spreading awareness. So yeah, any of you want to make me big, I'm gonna read the opening statement.
Are you gonna turn your camera on?
It is on.
No, it's not. We can't see you.
Oh, let me log in and read my opening statement. See the glitches.
There you go. We can see you again. No, black screen. So you just fell off. Damn. LinkedIn kicks you out. Yeah, Paulette, I see what you see. We're not live on LinkedIn, but I don't know what would this something funny has happened, right? I don't know what it is. I say funny, it's not really funny, it's not funny, ha ha. It's funny peculiar. See? Michelle's had to join on a different
I had to get a different device.
What device number 3 or device number 2 or device number 1
This
again?
is the third.
Okay, right. Okay, go for it.
Oh my god.
The mic is
So
yours.
let me pull up this opening statement. So this is my opening statement. This is pretty much the foundation of why we will be streaming live events every single week. And again, thank you for your support. So my name is Michelle Ramos. I am currently homeless in Akron, Ohio, due to mass systemic injustices. I'm sitting before you tonight not as a polished speaker, but as a mother who has lost everything that the world told me mattered. Yesterday, I lost permanent custody of my daughter, Angelina. She was the last thing that I was still fighting for. I have already lost my family. I have lost my home and every sentimental thing that once anchored me. Now, I lost my child. There's nothing left to lose. So, this is my declaration of war. Not a war of violence, a peaceful civil war of truth, accountability, and the refusal to stay silent. I am done watching people of status walk through the back door while the rest of us are forced to perform on the front step red carpet for scraps of dignity. Khloe Kardashian had her baby at the same Cleveland hospital where I gave birth. She was given privacy, protection, and the best care. I had children's services called on me within hours of my daughter's birth because I had weed in my system. Not my child, just me. Weed that my neurologist instructed me to use during the pregnancy after I was removed from Keppra so it would not pass through the fetus. The same medication that meant I could not breastfeed my child. How many parents are forced to choose between rent and groceries? How many people walk into an ER to beg for help only to be dismissed by the very doctors that swore an oath to do no harm? This is not isolated misfortune. This is a pattern. I plan to travel this entire country and share my story. And it's not for sympathy, but it is for witness. Because when systems designed to protect us instead gaslight us, erase records, and dismiss our pain, and then they separate a mother from their child, silence is no longer an option. I am not here to perform. I am here to tell the truth. My body is the receipt. The rashes are spreading. The worms continue to come out of my tongue and my nipples. My daughter's absence is the receipt. I am a great mother. The silence from every level of power that I have reached out to with Ruth receipts. That's it. Like, this is my declaration of war. A peaceful, unrelenting war of transparency for accountability, and for every parent has been told that their truth is delusional. I invite you to stand with me, but not as spectators, as witnesses. Because if it can happen to me, it's just a matter of time until it happens to you. So thank you for being here tonight. Let's go in. We lost the host. Oh.
The host is still right here. I was sending DMs. I was on a different tab, right? You haven't, look, you lost custody of your daughter, but you haven't lost everything. Like I've told you a million and one times, don't lose your mental health. Don't
Right.
don't lose yourself. If you lose yourself, then there's no hope.
Correct.
So don't lose yourself. Hang on to you.
That's why I say that I got to recover loudly.
Mm.
Because I got to keep helping those that are suffering silently. And I'm not going to lose myself in this.
Yes. No, I've seen it done so many times, Michelle. That's what I don't say that lightly. Welcome, Lisa. Glad you're here. Just got to realize you went on LinkedIn. Yes. We were meant to start tonight. We started an hour ago, Lisa. And it was on time. Michelle, tell him I was on time, wasn't I?
And he was on time. I was so prepared for you to be late.
And then LinkedIn, the event suddenly moved to 11 o'clock. And it was meant to start at 10. We started at 10 everywhere else on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Facebook. But here we are. And you were here too, right? Okay, cool. I'm trying to work out where to share the link for the studios. I say the only place I can share it on my YouTube, right? That's probably the best place to share it because at this end you see it. If I share it here, where would it go? Anyway, if you want to join the studios to share, then please do. There's a link, right?
I gotta grab this charger because devices are dying rapidly.
The gremlins are in your space, Michelle. They're not here.
Right.
They get to me, but there's not here, right?
Right.
So the conversation today is how do you manage when people tell you you are losing your mind, that you're delusional, that you're crazy. Essentially, when people deny your truth, right?
Right.
And they encourage you to forget your truth.
I guess that's a good way to what to call it.
Yeah, well,
Forget your truth. Yeah.
God knows it took us a long time to work up a focus. So go and tell me, Michelle. I guess give our friends, tell us what we're really talking about. Superstar Dr. Josette, I see you. Dr. Josette. Well, no, I keep saying to you that there are other people who are, similar to your situation. Dr. Josette is one of those.
I definitely do believe that there are many more people in the entire world that are being subjected to what I've gone through for the last 3 years that just have no idea, or that they're literally just too scared to talk about it. Because I'm not gonna lie, like when what I'm being subjected to first began, I was scared for the first like 15 months of it. And I did believe I was going crazy. And I did like go into isolation in a negative manner.
Mm.
And
That's
then
what.
that's, I think, when the something like when my daughter became suicidal, and then like a lot of the puzzle pieces started like clicking together, is like when something inside of me switched. Because when it was being when the torture and the warfare was being inflicted on solely me, I was cool with that. Whatever. I knew what beast I was poking. But then when that when the consequences of what I was doing carried over to my child, I had to stop being scared and start protecting her even harder.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. Say, well, when our kids are affected, we tend to respond, even harder. Dr. Josette says, "Ha ha ha, delusional faith." Yeah, I guess that's what we need, right? To have that. It's not delusional. That's the thing. I think it's a case
Then
of.
putting the label delusional was like the last straw to grab of trying to discredit my truth.
Michelle, calm down, let it go.
No, I'm just saying, like that. It was like
No.
it was a label.
I know that
It
trick.
don't mean nothing to
I
me.
know that
I
triggers.
know I'm
I
not
know that
delusional.
triggers you. That's enough. That sends you. No, you're being nice today, which is really good. Good for you. Because the last time when I said to her, "Calm down,"
Don't sound humble.
playing nice, she went all crazy. How dare you say that? I'm like, I just told you, calm down, right? As Dr. Gisette saying, you have to, this is not your problem. This is their problem, surely. When you have a truth, are you really meant to ignore it? I suppose paint a picture for us, Michelle. You have to give us some examples so our friends know what we're talking about, really. Where you have your truths and the world says no,
Well,
you're
where
you're
I'm at today was like a snowball of truths.
yeah. So
So like to be in the position that I'm at today, this exact moment, is like when you rewind and you do the retrospect aspect of it. The first truth was
hmm,
there was a fire on February 15th, 2023, that we lost everything. Truth number one.
mhm.
Hours after the fire, the property management company, under duress, forced us into new leases. Truth number two. These forced leases came with a dead real estate broker, truth number three, that doesn't exist for them to be valid leases. But there also was the fact that we were paying for renter's insurance we believed to be real. So that once this fire happened, we were told it didn't exist. Truth number four. So all of these little things keep escalating. I'm the delusional labeled one because I questioned faulty renters insurance. I questioned a dead real estate broker. I questioned 300 health and safety violations in our unsafe home. And I have questioned every agency and every elected individual that I've gone to for help that has failed to respond.
Wow. Again, Dr. Josette makes a good point. Look, I know, you mean the delusion of faith in a right way, right? And I say, the meaning, as she says, is that no matter what you see, perceive, or believe, you know your truth.
Yes.
Mm.
Absolutely. And I didn't think she meant it in the
No,
harmful way.
of course not. Of course not. I'm saying,
I know her way better than that.
yes, no, I know her well too, and I know but what you say is perfectly true. Say, I don't know whether I could give up my truth.
I'm willing to die for my truth, and I am dying medically because of my truth. I am still actively in this moment being denied medical care from infectious disease doctors, cancer doctors, pain medicine. So I am dying for my truth.
Yeah, and again, you always talk about your receipt chains. You're keeping receipts, right?
Hmm.
Always.
Because my dad always said, like, even if you're telling the truth, it doesn't matter. If you can't prove it, you will be called a liar.
Mm.
So to this day, even though I can already prove the psychological rape, the stalking, the drone surveillance, the digital interference, even though I have a receipt chain vault full of it, I still actively document and record to this moment. Yes.
Again, you're not alone. So I guess we have to be more open to weird things happening. The question I think I'm asking is, do we really know why? And for someone, let's say, for someone to deny your truth, there has to be a reason why. I
My
know
truth
that.
can, I believe, again, I statement, I believe that I'm facing so much psychological warfare and so much, petition chill and deflection because I believe that my truth and what I'm able to do and prove with records is capable of destroying the entire global socioeconomic system.
Go. Tell me
No, that's
more.
just it. That's it. That's it. One sentence. That's why it's so brutal right now.
That's not it. No, help us understand. What does that mean?
What that means is that I can look at public records, but I know how to read them. Public records don't matter if you don't know how to read them. But if you have public records that you understand and know how to read and how to connect dots and patterns of corruption and misappropriation of business funds and racketeering, that seems to become a problem for a lot of people involved.
Yeah, but that would just ruin the people involved. It's not going to change the global economic
Well, I
system.
mean, when they're the government agencies and the taxpayer money.
Again, I see this every day. I see this many days. I think we all do. So I tell you, why I say such words. A friend of mine today, a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. Again, if I'm not talking to you, I'm probably talking to her, right?
Right.
Her son has diabetes, diagnosed with diabetes anyway. And she would attest, she would swear, nah, swear down, swear blind, whatever, that the medications is what's making him ill. And you're like, if he's got diabetes, he has to take medication. Otherwise, he will die anyway.
Right.
And she blames everyone, the doctors, for knowing they hadn't got the doctors were giving him diabetes essentially through medication. The medication for sending him into mental health rages, into just crazy rages. And she actually thinks that this is the system that's doing it to him. So there's examples every day. I'm sure
I don't
anyone.
believe that this is the system doing this to me.
Okay,
I
who do you?
believe we have systems operating perfectly, exactly as they're designed.
Right.
I believe that I just see through the lies and bullshit and refuse to accept it and be complacent and call bullshit.
But you tend to come out on the wrong end. On the
Well,
what?
I get put out on the wrong end, but I'm not on the wrong end because I got a lot of factual, undisputable evidence.
Yeah, but my point is that you don't get the housing, you don't get the insurance to pay to replace your belongings that were lost.
Right.
You don't
Yeah,
get
I'm definitely on the wrong end of that
right.
stick.
You don't get the good things in life when some people do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though the
But that's
system
our society. Like, that's to be expected. Again, that is the system working exactly as designed.
interesting. I do like Dr. Josette's point again, where she says, you know, I guess many people just settle bitterly.
Sometimes people, I think, become complacent.
Instead of having the courage to face it.
It's because they don't know better. I think that, again, our education system works exactly as designed in what they're teaching our children and what we know, because it's literally teaching us what we need to know to keep them operating and making profits. But when you educate yourself on how to go against the systems or what our Constitution actually says, and then you start educating yourselves on the reality of what's really happening, it's not okay. And I think that is what makes me so dangerous, in the sense of, I provide public awareness. I give the data with the factual receipts and say, no, look, here you go. I want to educate people on their rights. I want people to understand how badly they are being violated by people they trust.
I suppose like this can look like a conspiracy theory perspective.
Maybe.
Don't
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't believe in conspiracies, so if that's what they choose
No,
to believe,
I
that's
suppose
okay.
the reason I say that is because they being told you are delusional, being told you are lying, being told you got this wrong, being
Mhm.
told to pipe down and to play nice,
Right.
settling bitterly, as Dr. Josette calls it, right?
I
You
mean,
know,
think about how many people are sitting in prison because they gave a confession, but that confession is not true, but they were under so much duress that they finally broke.
of course, look, I'm human, and I'm a reasonable human being. So I'll say to you, I hope not many.
No, our country's full of many. That's why we have entire organizations that dedicate countless hours and millions of dollars to getting them free.
Mm.
Because psychological warfare and psychological abuse in the United States is very real, actively used, and it is disgusting.
Yes. No, again, our friends in the comments are agreeing with you. Our educational system is based on the Prussian model to keep the proletariat as the working class. Yeah, the working
That ain't
class.
a lie. The education model was designed in Akron, Ohio, right where I'm sitting, in the late mid 1800s, and it is the same system for free public education still being used today. 250 years, some later, however many years later, it's still failing. Obviously, there's an issue.
Possibly. You know, again, I think I made the point I just made. When you're called delusional, it seems that everything spirals downwards.
For me, it goes upwards, but for others, yes, downwards.
Right, like, and then rather than being so, you're told you're lying about the housing, for example, then
Right.
suddenly it compounds into your health. It compounds into everything else, really. You know, into your parenting. I'm saying,
Every single aspect of life.
right? Can one person? Yeah, the question I'm trying to, can one person be so unlucky, or how do the other things manage to get
I really
into?
don't think that I'm unlucky. I think that when people scroll my social media platforms Or, I mean, hell, really, like, you just got to go to Google and type in Michelle Ramos, Akron, Ohio. When they start watching videos and interviews, or they go on Amazon and order books I'm published in and read the words I've written, I think that what people are going to realize is that my entire life has been a series of misfortune and just horrible events. But for some reason, people like to call me resilient because I seem to navigate through them. I don't think I was dealt a bad hand, or I believe that God knows exactly what he's doing, and this was the life I was meant to lead, and I'm just fulfilling my purpose. I
Yeah.
think that should the things happening to me happen to other people, it would undoubtedly kill them, whether, they just die from the medical neglect or they commit suicide from the psychological warfare. But I fight through all of it.
Yeah. Trigger warning for all those who are watching. Say, I guess no, you have to give me a warning, Michelle. So, but it's fine. It's fine. It's right. So let's go for a couple more of our comments. I think the working class are all confused now, anyway. But I get your point. You said. So Paulette says that's because it doesn't suit the government to help those who speak out against them. And also, unless you know where to look and you understand the systems, you create a problem. You become a thorn in their side.
Yep.
You accept that wholeheartedly? Saying that, no, I suppose if you're standing up for your truth when everyone else is saying otherwise.
So this is where me wanting, this is where with Don't Raise Statistics, we create the educational platform of creating awareness and advocating for others in the same situations, is because growing up, it was in an area where drug dealers and felons were our role models and mentors, and the way of life that we learned was through growing up in the ghettos under poverty neighborhood. Like that's what I grew up knowing. So then I'm like, I have a child and I get sober. So in my mind, I know drug dealing is bad. I know using drugs is bad. Okay, I'm having a child. I got to change it. So I get sober. I stop doing the things that are morally conflicting, and I change my life around. So then we have the fire, and I instantly, that fire happened. I instantly wanted to go get a kilo of dope and sell drugs because that's what I knew to do to make money to fix it. And I also was then battling with the internal confliction of knowing how horrible that is, that it risks my freedom, that it then puts the very same damage into the communities I'm trying to rebuild. So I then was like, okay, we're going to do this the legal way. So this is where I feel a lot of people are uneducated, because I did start by going to city council and to the mayor and to county council and to the county executors and to prosecutors and to attorney generals and governors. So I think that there is a delusion in our country that you follow the rules and what's written in black and white happens.
That's a lot of people to talk to who should care.
I thought that 2 years ago. I thought that there were people that were going to come and help. And because of my reality, this moment, talking right now, I do not believe in our government no more. I don't believe we should not have a government. I do think absolutely we should have government, but the government that sits currently in office, not every politician is bad. I do believe there's good ones and great intention, but from my local city government and up, I do believe there's a lot of mass corruption that needs to get the fuck out, and we need to let people in that really care about our country and humanity.
Where are they?
Great question.
I was hoping you might give me a straight answer and say, yeah, I know where they are already. Right. Mike, I definitely, I get what you're saying. Just because you're paranoid, just because, you expect the system to be broken doesn't mean that they aren't out to get you. I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I struggle with this. Do you feel they're out to get you, Michelle? I think you said no already.
No, and I'm not paranoid about anything. Look up the definition of paranoia. Look up the definition of delusion. I am not those things.
Go and tell us. So I could look up the definition of
Those
paranoia.
are like paranoid and delusional revolves around things that don't exist, that aren't real,
Irrational
figments of your imagination. I
beliefs, yeah.
don't say nothing I can't prove. There's videos, photos, and mass evidence to prove everything I say. I'm not delusional nor paranoid.
Wow. All right. Dr. Josette says education is becoming worse and being weaponized for further control. I imagine you agree with that, right?
I do. I think that our education system here in the States really needs an overhaul, and we really need to look at trauma informed systems that prevent things from happening versus teaching systems that prove it's pointless.
It's hard to get my head around because now when I'm talking to my son, for example, you want him to believe that the world's a good place inherently, that fairness exists, that kindness exists.
It does exist. I don't think it's extinct. I think that civilization and technology advanced so much that we need to take a pause and let humanity catch up.
Again, you lost me.
Like our technology, you know, corporate communities have become corporations and people have become profit. Hey, like if you think that if you're worried that you're going to lose your job because of AI, as far as I'm concerned, you don't have a real job.
I agree.
AI and the intent and purposes behind it was to help reduce the workload, to give
Yes.
you more time with your family.
Yes. Except many people are doing routine jobs that machines can do. That doesn't. It's not a real job in that sense. It's not, you. I don't want to say the words. I might as well not say. Get that. Okay. I'll be nice about humanity, right? Yeah. So Dr. Gisette says the brainwashing started. Well, Danga has started on brainwashing in universities. I don't know. I went to uni. It's about helping you think, learn to think.
Annie, you should come to America and attend a university.
It's not much different in the UK.
Yes, they're so different. That's why I applied for the University of London. I don't want to go to another school here in the States as long as I live. Exactly why I applied for University of London.
Look, now what I see about the US is that views and ways of thinking are usually entrenched in a way that's unhealthy. Partisan is the word I'm looking for. It's either black or white. It's either Democrats or no far right or far left.
Black and white with no rainbow.
And there's no middle ground. I say that because when I watch your TV, which unfortunately we get more and more of here, I can watch in a news program in a news channel now, watch this another news channel. It's exactly the same stories, totally different take, completely different conversation altogether.
Same story.
How did you get that point of view? Which is just odd. That's an American thing, the way I see. I'm saying, how different can your universities be?
It's like you have to look at it like this. So like something will happen, right? And I'm gonna tell my side, and that's my truth. You're gonna tell your side, and that's your truth. Neither of us are wrong, which means that somewhere in the middle is the truth. It's like, yeah, universities here provide the education and everything, but the United States is full of a lot of censorship and very much how and what is taught, how it's learned, when it's very sensitive.
Look, I want to hold on to your point just now. I remember when there was a room on here. What is the truth? I'm like, it's not rocket science, my friend. We know the truth. We all know the truth. We know the truth, right? And what's something like, of course, they had the whole. I think it was no. You remember Tamrat? Remember him?
Yeah.
He used to do rooms for 5 hours, literally
Yes.
3 hours in
I've
one
been on
place.
many of them. I know.
Right, right. And I was just thinking, what are you going on about? The truth is the truth. We know the truth. Everyone is those who lie about the truth who are delusional.
I think
It's
so.
those who right. So
I mean, like, I've been labeled in city and court documents as the delusional one, but when you look at my evidence, the physical, undisputable legal evidence, I believe it's all of those people that are delusional.
and they think you're the mad one.
Right. And I'm the one
But
that's
then,
being labeled delusional.
do they really think you're delusional?
I mean, there's
They,
official court documents that just took custody away that say I'm delusional.
no, that I hear you, but I said that's not the question I asked. Do they really think? Do they really believe you're delusional?
No, I really think they probably just think I'm a threat and they're trying to shut me up.
If they did the right thing, then they wouldn't have to worry about you being a threat, surely.
No shit. If a lot of people did the right thing, we wouldn't even be in this position.
What?
If we did the right thing and if a lot of people did the right thing, I wouldn't have multiple breast tumors right now. I wouldn't have worms coming out of my tongue and jaws and parasites all over my body without pain medication. I wouldn't be going blind with something in the retina of my eye. I wouldn't be homeless. I
That
wouldn't
wouldn't.
have lost custody of my child. So if again, I'm not the delusional one.
You're the mistreated one.
I'm Michelle Ramos. I can only make I statements. I'm not saying I'm mistreated because I think that God has been wrapping me in grace and favor and helping me get through a lot of human caused, scenarios for a long time. I'm
Yeah,
not a victim. I'm a survivor.
which brings us to Mike's comment: life happens for us, not to us.
Exactly.
Even in the middle of a fire, of a storm.
Yep.
So, is that one of the ways that you get through and protect your mental well-being
I think that
when you know your truth and everyone else chooses to believe something else?
it's really is to protect my mental well being. I turn to God. I talk to God. I pray to God. I sit with God all day, every day. We're not promised our loved ones in the afterlife. If you think about the wedding vows you take, till death do us part. I'm
Hmm.
not promised that when I die from either the breast tumors in my breast or from the parasite that may, travel from my eyeball into my brain and kill me. I don't know. But I know when I die, I'm not promised Angelina. So whatever I have to do today while I'm alive to ensure I get another hug from my baby,
Hmm.
I'll scream the truth as loud as I can.
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. We are going to get to a bit where you give us your strategies for keeping your head whilst all about you are losing theirs. We'll get to that in the end, right? Yeah, but I think but having that, I don't know, having that approach to life, I suppose, where you don't collapse into yourself. I think our point is, you don't need to lose to fall into
I
mental
think
health.
that the point is that people need to know that no, you do collapse. And it's absolutely okay to collapse. And that emotional regulation is a key fucking tool that you need to embrace, because where we're told not to cry over spilt milk and when we're told that it's done and over, happen, get over it, the truth is that negative emotions are very real and deserve all the same much that we give into them as the happiness and the love and the excitement. Anger and frustration and betrayal deserve the same.
I'm looking at Paulette's comment. Generally, people are scared to speak out, so you can't blame people for not standing up, as they never know, as they've never known any different.
Exactly, which is why I am so loud at what I do, because what I've learned, I didn't know. And if I did, I wouldn't have known unless I self educated, because nobody was telling me, nobody was helping us.
I don't know. I don't know whether to think I'm lucky or what.
It's not about luck, it's God's blessings. And
Yeah,
it's,
okay,
it's,
I'll take that.
it's
I do feel blessed. I do feel, a divine hand or light. That's all guys that lights my path in what I do, in everything I do.
yes,
Even I can believe I'm delusional too, but it's fine. I'm saying, things turn out all right for any. I've always said it. I've said it for years now. Not always. I've said it for years. There's this little bubble around me where truly nothing sticks and nothing hurts that much. Really, you know. Yes, shit happens, but still, that's shit, right? Things happen to everyone. I know Mike said, things happen for us. I can accept that. That's mostly what happens to me. The good, things I want may not happen, but things I don't want may happen. But it doesn't. They're not. They're never enough to bring me down. They're always. Oh well, I'm still my happy self. We live another day. We go again, right?
absolutely.
I guess my point is, I think many people do speak out,
Hmm.
and
A
they
lot of people that speak out probably don't even know that their voices are being suppressed.
yeah, that I agree with, and because almost like they seem immune to the consequences of having their voice suppressed.
Correct. Or it's
That
not even that they're immune. It's just that, like seriously, like I'm not lying. Like when the psychological warfare and torture began 3 years ago, I literally had no idea what was happening to me. I only knew something was happening.
hmm hmm
And when you're reaching out asking questions and then nothing's being answered, but then that feeling is growing and growing and growing, that's when I began having to self educate myself.
I say again, like it can look like anxiety. It can look like delusional.
It can look like paranoia. It can look like
Yeah.
delusion. It can look like anger or rage.
Anyway, let's talk to Mike. Welcome, Mike. I'm glad you found the link, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm loving your passion and your how you are really approaching this, because I don't know if there's any other way
There's
um
not.
to approach particularly governmental corruption, and when I've had a few situations with the government, local government, um and they fell back on their program. It didn't matter what justice looks like. It didn't
Correct.
matter what the facts were. Um, and I don't even want to go into details because it was actually about my son. It wasn't about me personally, and I don't want to share something he may not want
No,
to.
no, I respect that. No.
But uh, one of the things was one of the judges involved. Um, I was supposed to sit for a case, and I said I have a problem. Even though you are not. So he was the judge in family court, and but then I guess he moved over to a different court, and so I was supposed to sit for a case, and I said, I have a conflict because of what happened with my son, and I felt that I had to do that because I wanted to be truthful,
Mhm.
and of course I'm trying to remember which side. I think it was the defense. Defense probably wanted me, but the prosecutor didn't, so I got relieved of my jury duty. But
Mhm.
I learned a lot about the system. This also happened as part of a school situation, and all of that, and all of the, what you're talking about, like the responses of the bureaucracies, and some of these people, to your point, aren't even aware, I think, of the part they're playing, which is even scarier, right? Because uh, they're just quote unquote doing their job. And part of me is always like, well, do they really know? Like Annie was asking, do they really know? And I think again, I don't know. I think at some point it's my belief that you come to what I call a crisis of conscience, right? In a job like that. And at some point you decide, you make a decision to either do the right thing or to go along, right? To get along, so to speak. And at that point, you're trapped unless you're going to, grow conscience. So I think I'm not making any excuses, just for clarity. But I think that some of these people are like, you know, because they also have families and mouths to feed and roofs to put over people's heads and so on. But yeah, and I think for me anyway, the only answer I had was faith and really a mind shift. And what I said was in the comment, actually I heard from someone that isn't necessarily even a believer, but it just blew me away because it was a mind shift. Is that we go through things and it's really the only thing the control we have is um how we respond to it. And in your case, how you are um basically telling the truth. And I think that's, we I was on Christiana's show before, and I think it's so important that we share our stories, because how else are people going to know, about this situation? How, because of that fear that Paulette was talking about, people are afraid to speak out, and
Right.
we need people like you to speak out, tell the truth.
That's what I do. And it's because it's like, I mean, honestly, all of this, the fight began so hard. Just it's like I was trying to break generational patterns. And I didn't want my daughter to grow up experiencing the same misfortunes I did. And I believe that our children should not have to exist in a future repeating our mistakes, especially ones that are preventable.
I think every parent would agree, or I would hope that they would agree.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely.
And like what you're saying, like, and for me, it was like, it's like, with the, like, I literally, a judge just stripped permanent custody away yesterday. I lost my daughter yesterday, full custody. And it's like, but that judge told me that I was not allowed to talk about the housing escrow case in the Akron court, is like a different court, where $13,000 is sitting because we was in an unsafe home. Like, and that's like another issue. Like, why? Like, we have to, everything that takes you to the judicial system is driven by emotion. But once you walk in them courtroom doors, they expect you to have no emotion.
Amazing. That's amazing weird part.
It's supposed to be based on law, but the problem is the law. And again, I'm trying to be even-handed, but obviously I have somewhat of a bias because I have personal experience. I believe that there's a multi-tiered justice system for number one. If you have money, chances are you're going to get better outcomes,
That's
not
not
just
a
better
chance.
lawyers,
That's a provable, data provable point, what you just said.
right? So there's that. It's supposed to be justice, supposed to be blind. That's why we have the blindfold over, the
The
statue.
Lady Justice,
Is
yep.
Yeah. So, and we know, to your point, we know that that's not correct, and
You're
that's
also supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but in America, you're guilty until proven innocent.
correct.
Depending on who you are. That's why, if you're rich, if you're wealthy, then you might get away with being innocent until you're proven guilty.
The glove might not fit. Who knows?
It might do. It might still be yours. Look, now this raises many questions. I think Paulette makes a good point. She says the more times you try to do it right, but the system is so screwed and corrupt. As soon as something in front of you, as soon as you point a finger at one of the merry men of the corrupt city government, they come for you.
They
I think
come with an army of fuckers, man. Yes, they do.
so some I don't know, Paulette. I do see you. Of course, I'm gonna add you to the stream. Right? You see, I don't know whether I am part of the problem because life is not that bad.
I think you're
Life
actually
is
part
good.
of the solution, because I think that the only way you're a part of the problem is if you just contribute to it or do nothing to try to change it.
But almost like those who are not in it don't see it at all. You mean I can live and believe the world's a nice place, the world's a fair place, the people, the law is based on law, as Mike said, and doctors are under the medical oath to treat everyone and aim for good health. Are you with me? The schools are there to educate, and we have a choice in terms of what we
What's
do.
written on paper and what happens in actuality are very different.
See, but we are those people. I say that. The reason I'm in angst is because I had one chance to work in local government, right? My last life was as an advocate for children who were in the system, children with disabilities, children in state care, and I fought every battle with all I had. And everyone, literally, I was the only one who would threaten to take the local government to court for not doing what the child needed to do, because I knew the system, because I lived it, so I knew what the system was, right? And I used everything I knew, all my powers, to challenge the system for for sake of every kid, right? So I guess you end up having an inherent belief that the system will work when you prod it enough and when you act with integrity yourself.
I used to think that. I don't think that no more.
I can see that.
I believe that when you
I
take
know,
the
Mike.
system,
Sorry, Mike.
I believe that when you take the system and then you do to them what they're doing to you, they can't arrest you because then they'd have to arrest themselves.
See, I suppose I hear what you're saying, and I think there's something in that, right? Because the system paid my wages, but they paid it through someone else. So they paid it through our charity. So they gave us a contract basically, and they said, "Yeah, now be independent, be on the kids' side. That's your job. Like, do the job." And when I did, they're like, don't like that. We want our contract back, and then they were told, "Any's going to come with a contract." I'm like, "Me in the local government? No, I refuse." For 3 months, 4 months, I sat by myself. I refused to sit with the rest of them. I sat in a different part of the building completely by myself every day. I refuse to engage with them because I know what they do, trying to protect the system, trying to deny people's rights. Mm-hmm. In the end, they paid me a king's ransom to leave. And then they're like, "Right, this can't carry on. We don't want you here."
That's where, and what you're describing, and it's like, and that's what Mike did when he removed himself from jury duty. It's like where I'm at in my situation today is that with the breast tumors and the rash, the eyes, the mouth, all the formal complaints filed, all the official investigations that are active. The people with the power and the authority to do something know what's happening. I can prove it. And nobody has stepped in and said enough is enough. So that's why last week on the show, that's why I asked that question. At what point do your moral and professional ethical boundaries conflict with your personal?
I would argue
know what's happening to me.
There's something about that, Michelle, that you have to just stop and think for a sec. If you unwound one part of the story, suddenly you have to unwind all of the story.
Well, no, I fully know that. That's why.
So that's what I'm saying. So when somebody is held to account, everybody gets held to account. From district to county to legal to government to contracts to wherever.
It's a ripple effect.
So the ripple effect. So what happens is, if we keep her shut and her mouth closed, and we put her away, or we do whatever we do with her, we break her, the problem goes away, right?
Mm-hmm. Except their problem gave me more breast tumors and other medical
issues.
Of
course, I'm not denying any of that. What I'm trying to say is that whether it's in, I'll tell you a very, very quick story. I can tell you that an individual, right, will put in to build 2 or 3 houses on a bit of land. They will not get permission locally, but a builder will. Do you know why that is? Because the builder is paying somebody exactly the little hand gesture is paying somebody at the council, right? Backhanders, I'm sorry to say it, but we are a small country, right? And we've got enough corruption in our country. And it's been shown at so many levels with everything that happened over COVID and so much and so forth, though I would go into it. But we have there's enough crap going on in our own country that has been unraveled, and people go, "Oh, hot potato, drop that one. I was nothing to do with that one. I only stabbed a few people, nothing to do with me. Oh, that person died. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to give you that injection. Oopsies." It's that sort of crap going on over here, right? In your situation, this goes right to the bloody top.
Yes.
The corruption is at the top and it filters down. Yep. Whether you're red or blue, I don't give a flying what's it. And I don't care. I don't want to come to the States, so it don't bother me what I say. So I will tell it how it is. It doesn't matter whether you're red or blue. Ultimately, right, there is corruption at every single level. And when you're dealing with county, whether you're dealing with district, whether you're dealing with legal, whether you're dealing with this, whether you're dealing with that, whatever you are dealing with, it's a problem. And so everywhere someone's hand is being oiled. I tried to move some books to Africa. The cost of moving the books, because I needed to oil so many people's hands to get those books there, it became absolutely impossible. I'm not talking about with any, I'm talking about years gone by, where I had literally containers of books where libraries and businesses were being closed down, and I tried to do the honourable right thing through Oxfam. And literally, we had to pay everybody at every port, every single part of the system was absolutely corrupt. And when we were saying to these people, we're going to be educating your kids, and they were like, yeah, but how much? How many dollars? You know? And I was like, wow, okay, sod you. I'll tell you what, we'll take them somewhere else. And we
Right.
did, right? So
Yep.
my argument is, in your situation, you can't take it anywhere else. All you
Nope.
can do is fight at every single level, which you have, until you've got almost parked outside the White House.
So
And when you're
basically, that's
parked
like, yeah,
outside the
like
White House,
that's
they'll
what it's
take you
like right
away.
now. Is like saying
Away,
like,
Michelle.
I
They'll
already
say
took it
that
to
you
every
are.
level. That's why we're
No.
at this platform now and on this stage.
Exactly, exactly. But you are then become a risk to the president. You become a risk to this person, that person. She's delusional. She's potentially mentally ill. Who knows what she could do? We need to take her away from the president, right? But
Yep.
ultimately, that is the level where you need to go, because nobody, and as I said, they're as corrupt as you like up there. I mean, I don't even know how many people watch the news to hear the insider trading that went on, and everyone just went, oh yeah, that happens, and you're like,
Business as
whoa,
usual.
that it's like the norm. Paulette, don't be reactionary. I'm like, do you realize how much trouble we could get in from just one word in someone's ear? You'd be sacked, your license taken away, you couldn't trade again, blah 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 blah. But it was absolutely in the White House, him saying to his pals, how much did you make? And I was like, whoa, this is on national television going around the world. Whoa, right? So if you're dealing with it at the top level, trickles down. He can get away with it. We can get away with it. They get away with it. I get away with it.
Exactly.
Sheriff's county, blah, de, blah. And so my problem is, and I'll be completely honest with you, that until we get you parked outside the White House, and at that point, I really do think we need to get a bodyguard, because I think they will arrest you. But seriously, marching up and down with your placard is the on national TV, right? Is the only way you're going to get somebody to go, perhaps there is something wrong,
Well, here in the
right?
United States, national TV ain't even gonna do that because they're censored too.
Because they're as culpable, because they're paid as well. Everybody along the line is culpable because they're all got their noses in the trough, as we call it over
Every
here.
local media station and newspaper has been set evidence and everything to know what's happening here. I have sent it to the New York Times, the Washington Post. So the media even is aware of the degree and magnitude of the corruption
Yep.
and abuse happening.
And the noses are in the trough. I'm going to
Exactly.
shut up, Eddie, because I'm getting wound up and I don't feel well enough to be wound up.
Let me unwind you a little bit. I'm gonna gently suggest to the panel and Michelle that there is a power above the White House. And that's also where the battle is. And what I'm talking about is principalities and powers. So there are forces behind what's going on from the top all the way to Michelle's level. And I do honestly believe that she's taking the right stance relative to really getting to the man. And I mean the man upstairs, because
Right. It's like because any all the time because I use the word they. I literally have no idea who is psychologically torturing me. I just know I can prove I'm being psychologically tortured. And
yep,
he's always like he's always like, well, who are they, Michelle? Like you just said, the man upstairs.
it's it's the system. And again, it may I'm going to say it's not necessarily any one person. It's the system that is corrupt.
It's an
It
entity.
continues to be corrupt. And like I said, there is a metaphysical power, evil, if you will, behind all of that. It's not simply now men, meaning mankind, has a responsibility to do the right thing or not, or they don't. But so there's agent. We have agency. We can choose to
Yes.
do what's right or choose to do what's wrong. So you don't get off the hook. But what I'm saying is that we also have to acknowledge that we're in a spiritual battle daily, right? And Michelle, the other thing is I would just offer is if you're getting shrapnel, chances are you're over the target.
I believe that.
So just keep that in your mind and know that there are people that are praying for you.
I appreciate it.
Um
Thank
and
you.
and sending good thoughts and prayers your way.
And
Look,
that's all I ask for. Everybody's like,
eh,
well, what can I do to help? It's just, and there's nothing nobody can do to help until the person that can stop it steps up. So that's all I do is ask for prayer and ask people to share content to make awareness.
that's what we're doing, right? Look, I will say tonight. I will say, Mike and and everyone. Systems are made up of people like you and I. Again, it's hard to believe it appears to be true. Paulette says people unfortunately need to understand that the world is not fair. It's corrupt and broken. I can't say those words to my kid. Come on, I must say. What do I say to him? Give up now, because you're brown?
No,
No.
you don't have to give up any, but what you have to say to yourself is, let's not feed our kids crap and tell them that everything in the garden is rosy, because it's far from rosy.
Right.
Honestly, it's far from rosy. And that's your child, my child, any child. And what we have to do is say to our kids, we want you to be more ethical, more moral, more grounded, more caring, and kinder, so that the other kids to make up for those that aren't. And then by doing that, that will rub off on those children. And then gradually, one by one, you assist and you change. But whilst the mediocrity is corrupt and people are all having that, listen, I've only just come across it this week, honestly, about building regs. I can't believe how people are getting their extra money to buy their Mercedes to drive around in by approving building regs, when other people can't get it. So I know damn well you can't afford a brand new Mercedes on a 35 grand a year salary. So where are you getting your money from, pal? I'd like a little one-to-one with you, but everyone says, Paulette, you go back to your box, you stay in there, you're going to cause trouble, just keep her out of it. Charles, lock her up, because it's true. I will speak my mind, and people don't like it, but it's the
At
truth,
all.
right? And so the more that you do stand up, the more that you have to accept the world has changed, even from when we grew up. There are greedier people. There are people out there who have made money out of the most awful circumstances. Doctors and nurses are dying in hospital from COVID, right? And we
Yep.
find out that the bloody injections they've given us actually could have killed us because they weren't tested thoroughly. Oh, but we had to do it on the hoof. Yeah, well, I mean, Trump wanted us to drink bleach, so I'm afraid you guys weren't much better. But I mean, ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, retrospectively, we can look at a circumstance and say there are issues. But in Michelle's case, you can't go retrospective. You go, this is happening now. This only happened yesterday with her daughter. This is
Right. This
following
is
her
real
around
time.
like a bad smell. Everywhere she goes, the shit is following her. And the problem we have is we
It's
need to protect her. I'm sorry, it's true. We need to wrap
true.
her up in cotton wool, right?
I
Because
don't
what's
know.
coming next?
Would that help? I don't know. That's the question, Paulette. I don't know what we do with Michelle, really.
Well, we've rattled enough cages. She's rattled enough cages. The only person who can protect her now is the guy upstairs. And that's the guy we have to pray to and hope that that's the one that will save her. Because right
It has
here,
been
right
God's
now,
favor. I'm still alive.
you're still here, right? But as Mike says, and I've said, and people are being honest for once. We are being completely and utterly honest and saying the system is failing. It's failing you. It's failing Angelique. It's failing so many people, and they just either end up in the clink or they disappear or whatever happens. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but I've got enough people in America that have asked me therapy because I cannot get it. Please, will you help me? Please. I'm on the edge, right? And when and that's a trigger warning, but when you are having to deal with people in the States because there isn't the care in the States, and I'm telling you, come back to the UK, there isn't the care in the UK. No one's winning right now. No one. So all we can ever do is the best you can do with with what you've got, with where you're at, and get people like Annie to do these kind of shows to publicize as much as possible what's going on, and that way there's another record. Here's a video. Here's another video of Michelle speaking her truth. Here's Mike speaking his truth. Here's Paulette speaking her truth. Here's Annie speaking his truth. All to stand up for somebody who we trust and believe their truth.
That is the power
right?
of receipt.
That's the power, right? And that is all you can do right now is have records like this.
Yep.
Look, Dr. Josette, I've just sent you the link. You say you need someone to help you to get on this call. Do say I just sent you the link to your LinkedIn DM. Just click on the link and you'll be in the studio and I can bring you on stage.
I'll jump off any because I feel like poo, okay?
Thank you for joining.
Your time was come anyway, Paulette. Your time was come.
My time is really come.
Is it which hour? Thanks for joining us, Paulette, as always. But thanks for your great comments too. I don't know. I'll have to think very hard because I believe the world is a good place. Well, a lot of people do good things. I think that's the point. That's what. It's for us to keep doing the
I
right
try to think of it with that analogy that like one bad apple can ruin the entire bushel. And I I try to remind myself to give grace to our government and to give grace to our local leaders because it's like one bad apple can ruin everything.
Annie, I'm just going to pipe up and say, as people of the book, we have to understand that everyone isn't following the same sheet of music as we are. So it's unrealistic. And I'm not chiding you at all, just for clarity. You're my brother. You're my brother from another mother. But that it's unrealistic to have the same expectation of them. And I'm not saying in general that we let them off the hook, but if they show themselves to be corrupt, if they show themselves not to have integrity, we need to believe them. And that is unfortunately part of life. And this has been going on for millennia. It's not, this isn't new.
Because actions speak louder than words.
Yes, yes. And to your point, Annie, there are beautiful people in the world, and we need to be grateful. We need to be grateful for the Michelles of the world, for the Ennies of the world, for the Paulettes of the world. We really do. We need to lift those people up and celebrate each other, right? Because we're in such a chaotic world, there's so much division, and like I said, because this battle's happening all way over our heads, but that doesn't excuse us from not jumping into the skirmishes that we are allowed to skirmish. It's and I don't want to paint an overly, you know, black picture, a dark picture. But yeah, I mean, again, this has been going on, and we have Josette here, so I'm gonna shut up.
Hello, Dr. Josette. How are you doing? It is that easy. If you anyone who puts a message in the chat to say, "I want to send me the link," I'll send you the link every time. But otherwise, the link is going to be on the event page, on the LinkedIn event page, in the comments.
When it works.
But yes, when no, even then it's still there.
No, I said, but our LinkedIn event ain't working.
How are you doing? Yes, you.
Hi,
Yes.
everybody. It's good to be here. This is my first time on YouTube Live. I agree with most of what you're saying, and I know that it sounds wild because I have most of my friends who don't believe in the spiritual warfare, but I do. I definitely do, and I think that those who are the most attacked, so people living in the streets with addictions, with schizophrenia, it's because they have a very strong power. And it's in my interest to believe this because I've gone through a lot of hardships. So I have turned it around in a way that benefits my mental health. So some people know their faith, some people choose it. And I'm one of the people that have intentionally chosen certain things to benefit my moves. Okay, so the system wants me to be ill. I'm gonna not be ill. The system wants me to give up. I'm gonna be strong enough and I'm not gonna give up. The system is gonna add a bunch of boundaries so I cannot make it. Well, I will make it the overcoming ultimate story of the underdog. And of course, it didn't happen for me overnight. I took a couple of years to do brain rewiring work through meditation, manifestation, but I have gotten in places that I never thought I could before because of a switch of mindset, which was at the time a victim. It's impossible. I can't do this to, okay, you're making it hard because I have all this power. Let's find out. Am I still live? Because I can only see myself. So
no, you're good.
Okay,
so you're on big screen.
You're on the big screen.
Oh, I'm on the big screen. Oh my goodness, no makeup or anything. It's all natural. But yeah, it's of course I wouldn't tell people what they need to do. I wouldn't tell people, well, because it worked for me, you should do blank. Because I think everybody has a different journey and was handed different cards from birth, some that we see and that we understand, and others that we don't, right? In terms of neurobiology and resilience and health. But I can tell you what has worked for me is to really work on that mindset switch. So I used to think, well, they want me to die fighting. Okay, I'll die fighting. And I have switched that mentality to, you know what? No, I'm going to win and I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to play the system back until I achieve whatever I need to achieve so that I can free others. Because it's easier to die trying than to live trying. So it's just something to keep in mind. And again, it didn't happen overnight. It was for me hard work and determination that okay, I'm going to fail a billion times in doing blank, but I'm going to keep on trying until it becomes part of my way of thinking and feeling and being. I'm done. Sorry, because I can't see anybody, so I feel like I'm talking by myself.
Thank you for sharing that. And I fully understand and I fully agree because who I was before I had a child and then who I've become today, I've literally had to learn how to be like, okay, let me take this negative and turn it into a positive.
Yeah, I think it's if you realize that you are handed certain cards because you're strong enough to make a difference, then you have a choice, which is I'm going to die trying or I'm going to leave winning. Right. And so I had to learn about all types of therapy, alternative, medicinal, what I could do on food stamps and with no car and no money to be well. So I looked into manifestation and prayer and journaling and visualizing that future of being that ultimate overcomer, right? So many things I have achieved that I didn't think I could. I'm a high school dropout, special ed, labeled at risk, and I also have a PhD in health sciences, which I used strategically to get myself diagnosed because I knew they didn't want to diagnose me. So this is published, accessible to all, very intentional autoethnographic dissertation at my university that I did to say, hey, what's going on? Because Mexico was able to diagnose me within a few months during my dissertation, but you guys took 7 years. You want me dead, don't you? And so I can say, you want me dead, don't you? And I stop at this, or what's my next step to change the system? Because they will make it hard for me. I still don't have access to
I've
treatment in the
literally
US.
asked myself that. It was like, okay, they want me dead. Like I literally have said, like I am better off dead. So I've literally like played in my mind every scenario. What do I have to do to live?
Very good. Yeah. And that's what I did. I was like, you know what? They want me to give up mentally, to fall into drugs, prostitution, addiction.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to become a producer. And no matter how many people, and that means all people told me it was unrealistic because I was in and out of homeless shelters, I was on food stamps. I always found a way through visualization, picturing it already done, and then things kept on falling my way. So I think there's a lot of power in rewiring the brain to, I'm going to free everybody. Like, be as delusional, and I'm putting this in a positive way, as you can. Be the matrix breaker.
Like I've been saying my entire life, I'm gonna change the world. And I really don't think it's been until this last year I truly understood like the reality and the magnitude of what I meant, 15 years saying it. Like I do believe it is God's purpose for me to literally change the world. Like there were moments, when I had my daughter, 10 and 15 years ago, I weighed 500 pounds. I was 15 minutes sober. I could not have imagined being 15 years sober. And I'm literally staring at my own reflection in a mirror, telling myself, like, you're going through this because God knows you're going to survive it. And like, if somebody else has to go through it, they're going to die. Like, I would be suicidal, 500 pounds, no way to understand why or how to fix it. And I would literally just stand in front of a mirror and repeat it until I believed it.
Exactly, and I love this. So once we realize our own power and we connect with like-minded people that want everybody to have freedom, healthcare, food, housing, peace,
Yes.
understanding that working was truly part of a system of control, because the billionaires, they don't work. They pay the
Nope.
workload.
That's
So
yes.
as soon as you realize you have equal power and can use it for good instead of being those evil, and I don't want to use cuss words, but those evil beep on top of the food chains behind the curtain of politicians that control wars and borders and policies and laws that truly are just a piece of paper that's not being followed because money speaks more, then we have power. But we have to, one, realize it, and two, being like, you know what? No, I'm not going to be sick. I'm not going to be sick. I'm not going to be sick. I'm going to listen to all the podcast of people that self-healed through meditation and breath work. And if I fail tomorrow, there'll be another day and another day and another day until I can overcome, because we need all of the tools and all of the people on our side to take on such a big task. So this is
what I
like you
mean.
said.
Like, and he wanted me to start these shows like so long ago, and that was what I was trying to explain to him. Is it like, because he always asked me why, and it's just like I don't know why, because what you just said, like what is on paper in black and white, we shouldn't be sitting here asking why. We shouldn't even have to be asking any questions.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So let me welcome Michael, then I'll come back to you, Dr. Josette. So, how are you doing, Michael? Glad you're here. You found the YouTube link. I'm sure I sent it to you. Yeah, I sent it to you. So you found it, right? But I think you asked a good question though. If you don't have an answer to it, how do you change it? Yes.
You do have the answer. The answer is being the example for others. Josette, Michelle, and Annie, I'm going to pick on you. You are an example. And that's how you change lives. That's how you change minds and hearts.
That's why I told him that he's part of the solution.
He is. And you know, when I was researching him, I found out about, you know, what he was trying to do with the kids. He was, and again, you don't know the impact that you have. I had a guy 35 years ago, 35 years ago, as a coworker that I had helped out. And just recently, it was like last year in 25, on LinkedIn, he said publicly, you know, I want to thank Mike. I'm like, I wasn't expecting it. So I unfortunately sometimes we don't get to see the impact that we have in the world. Josette, you know, in her testimony, as we say in Christian circles, is so powerful. And she probably doesn't. I mean, she may know some of it, but I think she's going to reach out to people she doesn't even know. And because even these shows like on Team Replay and everything else, I just you gotta kind of get in your head. I'm going to do what's right and kind of leave the rest up to God and the universe.
Yep.
That's what I got.
You're muted, Annie.
Annie, you're muted.
Right.
Unless you're on the phone.
No, I'm never. I can't be on the phone while I'm here, right? You know, I think you're giving us some good ideas, and I saw your comment, Mike, in the private chat. Be a victor, not a victim. And Dr. Gisette says exactly the same thing. I don't know why she keeps falling off the stage though. You know, that's not the system getting you, Dr. Gisette. Is it? I don't know. I'm saying no. Look, my point today was to get some ideas of how do we move forward. I think you've shared some good ideas. It's finding strength. It's being ethical, right? And that's what Josette says. And Michael said, there is a higher power than that. You've all said it really than all of us. I have the vision of the world being a decent place. Maybe not fair, but the world can work for us.
Mm-hmm.
It can, but we have to join hands and do it, Annie.
Yes.
That's the issue.
We
We
do.
can't sit back. We have agency. I keep on
Yes.
saying this. We can. Let me turn on my camera.
We do.
We can be good or bad. We have that agency. We have that choice, and we can do good in the world, and we can be a positive influence. It's like what we were talking with Christiana. I think some of this is education. To your point, people are thinking, the laws are fair. Well, I think that's probably not true in the United States, but I think people are aware enough. But we need people like Josette and Michelle to tell people what their story is, which, by the way, is one of my passions, is to help people tell their story through songs. So, Michelle, we may have to, or I may have to do something for you. But anyway, and Josette for that matter. I'm going to be busy.
You can write the soundtrack to Josette's feature films.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that. But anyway, I didn't promise anything, just for clarity. I'll probably do it anyway. But no, but I think, the solution, how do you change it? You speak effing up. And you act it out, like Josette's saying, and Michelle, you have to act. It's got to be deeper than words. You have to live your passion, and if you're not living it, people are going to know rather quickly. So
anybody that knows me cannot say that I am not who I say I am. Like this, what you hear is what you get. It's not gonna be no different. It's what I mean. Like, it was a hard lesson to learn that a lot of people say one thing and do another.
Yeah, I mean it's a shocker to me. It's like I suppose like I'm just holding to the fact that we have to become those people who do the right things.
Yep.
And do it.
And if you're already doing the right thing, then you have nothing you should be worried about.
Yeah.
So if you're already in a job doing good ethical work, you should have to be wondering whether or not you're harming an undeserving innocent person.
Yeah, I agree, but I think also that it does lead to what I think what Paulette was saying, that once we start doing the right things, others are called to start to do better, to do the right thing themselves.
Yeah,
And
setting the example, Annie, is really key. It really is, because Paulette was talking about the fear. Well, how do we help people get out of the fear? We show them, like I mentioned in the other show, I was blown away, and I didn't share this. I'll share this now. I won't share her details because I want them to be private for her. But I was doing a panel about trauma, and there was a woman that had just been through tremendous abuse, and I'm like, I had to follow her. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna say? And so I went through my kind of prepared speech, and afterwards she said, Mike, you gave me hope. Because what happened was, I was further along in the process of dealing with the trauma, years in fact. And by the way, I won't go into that, but what blew me away was that I brought something to her, because there is a power in seeing, like Josette. I don't think she even knows this, but I'm going to say it anyway. There's a power in what she has done already in showing what's possible. So if she can be that, whatever you want to call it, thought leader, she can be the light for other people that are in the darkness now.
It's
And
like a
that is,
lighthouse beacon.
yes, it's so key. And people, like I said, I don't think people really realize even the impact that they can have, the positive impact or the negative, but I'm going to focus on the positive. And to get to, in your case, it's to get the truth out, right? And they're like, well, it can't be. It's like, well, yeah, it can be, and I'm living it. And here are the facts, and here's, to your point, here's the data, here's the evidence.
That's why the posts are posted now. Like, you know what? Like, here's the emails, here's the photos, like here's the factual. These are the facts, undisputable.
And it's getting harder, I think, in today's world, because of all the stuff that's happened, for mainstream media to control the narrative. Now, with our internet and with these shows and YouTube and everything else, although YouTube, I'm not going to talk about censorship, but I think if we're smart about it, we can get the word out around the system that's trying to censor.
Yeah, like I said, I have to thank Dr. Josette. She got another meeting to run to. She does say, connect with her, right? So do connect. I think forming a community of people, for we are like minded. I think that has to be part of giving us strength. To handle these moments and not to lose our minds in the midst of the chaos. Welcome, Dr. Roxana. Welcome, Professor. How are you doing? Glad you're here. My friend Gladys is here as well. Hello to all of you. Yes, I think this is a good place to leave our conversation, Mike. I choose victim, not the victim, and say it several times, right? Make it your mantra.
Yeah, that's actually, I wrote a song, as I do, about that. And part of it, Michelle, was, there was a it was a mindset change. I had gotten stuck a little bit in that victim mindset, and it's not hard to do when life isn't going your way, and you know you're like, why can't I find a job, or whatever you're up against. why do I have to have a quadruple bypass? And that was a wake up. That was a huge wake up call. But I chose, and this is a choice, and I think that's what Dr. Josette was saying as well. Is you have to make that choice to make the mind shift, right? And if you don't, you're going to kind of stay in that victimhood, and that's not going to do you or anyone around you any good. And that's why I love to hear what Michelle's saying. I'm amazed by this woman, and I'm so glad that I attended and that I jumped on the stage here with you.
Yeah, look, I'll say this. I think I liked your use of the word victimhood, because I think it's the thinking, it's the mindset that gets us into the gaps, so to speak. I think when we feel like we're victims, we'll become the victims. It's not just a thought, right? It becomes our reality. I think we need to change. We can change that reality based on what we think. For we are what we think, is what we think that happens to us, right? I think I'll take that for sure. Look, my friends.
It's almost like that saying, you are what you eat.
Yes. But yes. I'm a big potato, I agree.
Well, Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am," and that it is kind of what you think is what you become. And I will just close with this, Annie. And you probably know where I'm going to go with this. It's this mindset of scarcity versus abundance. Scarcity meaning that you don't believe you have a choice. Of course, you have a choice. It might suck. It might not be a great choice, but you have a choice. You have a choice to do good or evil. You have a choice to accept shit or not. And to speak out. And like I said, I'm so glad I jumped on, and so glad to see Michelle and see her speaking out. I think it's so important.
Thank you. And I'm glad you joined too.
So am I, for sure. Always, Mike. Always, always, always. Look, now, Michelle, I say thank you so much for bringing these topics. I'm sure we'll tease out the next one that we want to talk about. There's many more.
Next week.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
I'll give you the last word today, Michelle.
Really,
Mike's amazing song.
It's really just to, keep sharing and spreading awareness, and to each their own. We each one teach one. So.
Yeah, and each one support another one as well. I think that was said earlier as well, right? Michael, so thanks for your great comments. When the justice systems can't profit, it tends not to care about what the results are. I'm not sure I want the system to care about the results. I want you to just follow the process. Follow the process.
But if that process means that they're going to have a revenue loss, there's an issue.
Yeah, that's someone thinking. No, follow the process. Just do the right thing and follow the process. I just can't. I'll go away and work out how to change the system, that way people don't think like that. That's
no. You go around the process, Annie. That's what I learned in corporate America. You go under, you go over, you get on national news or whatever news you need to.
Quantum physics, go through it.
Yes, or teleport. Mind over matter.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, all of you who joined us. I say again, connect with go in the comments and just connect with our friends who are here. Those that you feel to connect with. I'm telling us to say connect with everyone, right? Now, Mike, you're a true star, my friend. You enjoy your evening. Michelle, our night is young. We know that. With you and I, we're gonna be talking again. God knows, in the next few minutes. So, thank you, everyone. So, I can't thank you enough for being here, for giving us your time. Let's do it again in a couple of weeks' time. Michelle, we wish you the best in the meantime.
See y'all next week.
Bye, everyone.
And he sees you. He sees you. He sees you. children with no voice in borrowed rooms, to the magazines that carry their truth. 25 years of the same steady hand, finding the ones who fell through the cracks of the plan. From Mitcham to Croydon, from London to the world.